Hello there! I'm Scotty. You're not. We're going to talk about Star Trek 6 Undiscovered Country. Put it right there. Alright. Whew. Alright. Are we ready to get controversial, folks? Are we ready to get controversial? I think we are. I don't think the cage is ready. Yeah, I'm ready. Alright. So, the whole thing about all the odd numbered Star Trek movies are bad, all the even number ones are good. So this being number 6, obviously even number 1, and it's good. The plot is that one of Klingon's moons, one of their moons explodes, and they are told they have 50 years of life left, and so they are going to do a peace treaty, so that they can live within Federation space, basically. Starfleet space, Federation space, yeah. But after a dinner with the Klingon representatives, the Enterprise seemingly fires upon the Klingon ship, and Kirk and Bones are arrested for murders of the Klingon representative and some others. So now it's up to Spock and the rest of the crew to figure out what really happened while Kirk and Bones tried to escape from their imprisonment. So, right away, this one got me. Like, it was the idea of a murder mystery. Like, I was watching this, and it was interesting from the beginning. You have Sulu, is the captain of the Excelsior, whatever it's called, the other ship that flies around. He's the captain. He's the one that witnesses this big boom. And that's when they cuts to Earth, and they're like, the Klingons have 50 years left on that planet. It's not going to last long. 50 years is still a long time, but, so they're going to start negotiations. There are a lot of big actors in this. Like, you have, besides the main characters, you have Christopher Plummer as General Chang of the Klingon Empire. David Warner comes back, but he's playing the Klingon Emperor guy. Kim Cattrall plays a new Vulcan, taking Sulu's place since he is not a captain of the ship. Apparently, this is the first film to say Sulu's full name, Hikaru Sulu. He's been Sulu this whole time. And you have Red Foreman himself, Kurtwood Smith, playing another Klingon representative who's on Earth or on Praxis, whatever. But yeah. And Christian Slater has a cameo as a crew member of Sulu's ship. Like, you don't really see much of him if you're not looking, like trying to look at who he is. You wouldn't tell except for the voice. Captain Sulu. I'm like, what? Christian Slater? Yeah. Originally, though, the character of Savick from parts 2, 3, and 4 was going to come back and be the Sulu's replacement. And Kim Cattrall was still going to play the role, but she wouldn't do the role. I think they were gonna have the other actress come back. She didn't want to do it if there was gonna be the way that character goes in this. So they made a different character. So, and Kim Cattrall didn't want to play the role if it was the role that was recasted already twice. So, yeah. So Kirk, understandably, is very against this peace treaty thing, because if you don't know, Klingons killed his son. They even show a picture of him. And okay, why is it that they have to use production stills for photographs? This is obviously a picture of a guy on a set, but like, why can't they just get candid pictures? I don't understand. I just don't understand. But every movie has to do this. You can't just get pictures. Gotta be production still. I don't know. I'm trying to question it. But Kirk is in his cabin. He's doing a captain's log, and he's very against it. He hates the Klingons for what they did to his son, and I don't blame him. I was kind of on his side with this. I don't blame him. Happened to my son, I'd hate him too. You know, Spock seems to think this is the direct course of action. You know, so they go out to meet the Klingons. They bring them aboard. They have a dinner. They drink Romulan ale, which apparently is illegal, but they enjoy themselves. And then the Vulcans head back to their ship. All of a sudden, it appears as if the Enterprise fires photon torpedoes at the Klingon ship. But Scotty knows that blast did not come from Hirakapen. And then two people in Starfleet hazmat suit things go in there and just shoot the hell out of a bunch of Klingons. Okay. So, I already figured out one of the conspirators in this scene. Because a bunch of Klingons get shot, but General Chang, played by Christopher Plummer, is not harmed at all. He's not even like shot in the arm or anything. He's left completely unharmed while the other ones are shooting around. We later find that these are actually two crewmen that were set up to do it or believed were against it or something like that. Who knows? They were shot by phasers later. But then the other one became very clear. Another conspiracy became very clear. Because at the trial, because they go over and Bones tries to help save the Klingon Emperor, you know, they warn his character, but he doesn't know Klingon anatomy, which you think he would. Haven't done this for 25 years now. I don't know. Also, later we see Uhura doesn't speak Klingon, but you think she would know how to? Although they do have translators, so maybe that's why I never bothered to learn. I don't know. Klingon is basically anyway. That's basically what Klingon is anyway. But yeah. But at this trial, they used Kirk's captain's log, the entry that he did earlier in the film, as evidence to say that he did it. Now, one thing I got to mention is that just as he's finishing up his captain log, Kim Cattrall's Vulcan character walks in. As soon as they played that, I'm like, she walked in right after. So she would have heard something and she would know he was recording a captain's log. I bet she's in on it too. I figured Chang and her. So, yeah, but Kirk, Bones, they do not get the death penalty because the guy in charge of the sentence is not in on it. So that's how you know that he's not in on it. The Chancellor's daughter, not Emperor, Chancellor's daughter, takes over as the new Chancellor and still wants to do the peace talks, the peace treaties, and all the stuff they want to go through. So that's good, I guess. But, yeah, so Kirk and Bones are taken to this ice planet to dig in the mines, and I hate it when movies and TV shows do this, have them dig in mines. But to the credit, we don't really see them digging mines. They meet a shapeshifter lady, who may or may not actually be a lady. She sounds like a woman in a man's bodies. Anyway, it's weird. She turns into a monster, and it sounds like her, but then she turns into Kirk, and she sounds like Kirk. Very weird. And it's also very weird. 1991, ILM is back for this movie, so the special effects were better. The score is okay too, but like the score is different in every film except for 1 and 4. Whatever one that Jerry Goldsmith did, was it 5? 5, I think. The acting in this movie is actually really good. Even from Kirk, sometimes he gets, Spock, Bones, but yeah. There's this funny moment when after she turns into Kirk, she's like, surprise, and knocks out Bones, or he's knocked down or whatever, and then Kirk and the fake Kirk start fighting, and they roll over Bones, and he goes, ugh, ah, ah. Not laughing, it was funny. But it turns out this was a setup, because there's another Klingon and some Klingon crew sent there for their accidental deaths, kill them, and I guess she was going to take Kirk's place. I don't know. But they're able to get away, but just before the guy's about to tell them who organized this whole thing, and they're beamed away, and he goes, oh, no, God damn it, you couldn't wait 2 more seconds, they're about to tell us everything. And I love Chekhov's line, you want to go back? Without missing a beat, Bones, absolutely not. And during the time they're on the planet, though, there's investigation as to try to find the suits and the magnetic boots, because the gravity is destroyed. The gravity on the Klingon ship is destroyed, deactivated, whatever, and they're flying, and you get the CGI blood, but it's okay. It looks okay. It's fine. It's supposed to be, because it's in gravity, and then once the gravity's done, the blood is like fuchsia pink, violet, whatever. Very different from human. They wanted it to be green, but they didn't want it to be red because, rating is a PG movie, so it's pink, purple, fuchsia thing. But yeah, they investigate, and another reason you could think that it's her is earlier she demonstrates that when you fire a phaser on the ship, the alarm goes off. But they find that 2 dead crewmates shot by phasers. Alarm never went off. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I thought it's her because she's the one that demonstrated the alarm going off earlier. And if I do have to criticize anything, it's that they only put that scene where she shows that the alarm goes off so that when it doesn't go off later, it's a plot point. But it's a nitpick at this point. There's not really big negatives in this. They're mostly nitpicks, the whole not speaking Klingon or knowing Klingon anatomy. Nitpicks, really. And figuring out, like, 2 of them at least. So, Kirk and Bones are being back on. And after they find the 2 crew members, they decide to set up. They tell the crew reporter to report to the infirmary to take statements from the crewmen who are supposedly still alive. But of course it's her, and they catch her. And Spock tests her. He's like, shoot. If you are driven by logic, you would shoot. Because she's supposed to be, she's supposed to have a more humanized, irrational thinking than a regular Vulcan. Excuse me. But she refuses to say anything, so you mind melds with her and gives the information that not only General Chang, But Commander Cartwright, who sent them on the mission to begin with, is also in on it. And you can tell because he's sitting there, he's sweat. They go to where the peace summit is, and he's sweating his ass off. I'm like, does no one notice this man is sweating his ass off? That right there is telling you something. I mean, come on. He's more sweaty than Shane McMahon after WrestleMania. But after just, walking into set with lights on. Yeah. So, and they try to get the location. They don't know where it is. But Sulu knows where it is. And so they rush there, and Sulu follows somewhat behind. I don't know if George Takei couldn't, he had to film his scene separately or something, or why he's on that ship and not with the rest of them. I don't know. I don't know. He is there at the end, though, I think. Or is he not? I don't think so. I don't remember. No, because Chekhov is driving. That's right. And Chekhov is. Isn't he? Maybe. I don't remember. But they get in there. Kirk tackles the guy down. I forgot to mention John Schuck is back. And to play the role from Star Trek 4. Also, Worf from Star Trek Next Generation. It's not him. I looked it up. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought that show was 100 years in the future. Can Klingons live for 100 years? They have 50 years left. What? No, actually, it's his grandfather, played by Michael Dorn, the same actor who plays Worf on Next Generation, but it's his grandfather, apparently. Okay? But I heard the voice, and I'm like, wait, it's Michael Dorn. And they showed him, like, Worf? How? That's like 100 years apart, those shows. No. But yeah, he's at the trial. He is actually the defending lawyer. He's the defense lawyer for them, which is funny. But yeah. So he tackles the Red Foreman Klingon, and when he tackles him, he goes, "Kirk, Enterprise." I'm like, what is he doing? What is he doing? He's trying to contact the Enterprise, or is he just telling him his name? And I don't know. It was kind of funny though, but yeah. And they out. I forgot his name. All right, Cartwright. He's arrested, and they end up going. The Beach Treaty thing goes ahead as planned because Kirk, of all people, who deserves to make this speech. I mean, learned is, even Uhura says that like anyone that she's like, they should arrest me, because she had that same thinking. Obviously, there's gonna be people who are gonna be against this, but I don't think Uhura would have acted on it. That's the thing. Kirk was against it. He didn't act on it, although they said he did. Bones, I don't know why Bones was dragged in. Poor Bones. Damn it, man. I'm a doctor, not an assassin. They should have done that. Damn it, man. I'm a doctor, not an assassin. They should have done that. But we get... This kind of felt like a Furious 7 type thing at the end. They do mention that this is one of their last missions. They're close to retirement. That sort of thing. They get on the ship and they're like... So, what do we do now? And they're like, oh, we are ready. Ship is ready to go, Captain. I think maybe it was Scotty that was flying the thing, actually. He's sitting, I think I've seen in my head, he's sitting there in the Sulu seat. So I think it's Scotty. But they're like, Starfleet has said that we need to go back and immediately to Starfleet, and it will be decommissioned. And he just kind of smiles, because Because Kirk is thinking, when have I ever followed orders? And they're like, start engines. Aye. What's our heading, Captain? And he says this, and it caught me off guard. I thought he was going to do like, right there, to the left, or whatever, like he did before. But he's like, second star to the right, straight on till morning. Like, what's this, Peter Pan? What? And then what really got me is that ended. The music started playing, and they do like the Endgame thing. Like at Avengers Endgame, they showed a bunch of credits of people. They don't do that, but they do the thing in Avengers Endgame where they show like all 6 main Avengers with the little signature. They show the signature of each one, starting with Takei all the way up till William Shatner at the end. It's actually really cool. It got this shit made me shed a tear. This was supposed to be their last hurrah, and I've heard a lot of people criticize Generations because they think this is a better ending than what came in that one. And I know, spoiler alert for Generations, I know Kirk dies in that one from falling down, even though he almost fell down in Star Trek 5. But it's, by the way, they ignore. They mention stuff from before, Part 4, 3, obviously with the death of David, but they don't talk about 5 at all. They just ignore that thing. But yeah, and that's it. Bring a tear to this man's eye. And that brings it to a close. And another controversy. A lot of people say that Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan may be the best Star Wars movie ever made. I gave that one a pretty good. When it comes to this one, though, I gotta tell you, I'm sending it to the moon. I enjoyed this movie so much. I liked the murder mystery and space angle. I liked, maybe I thought that I was gonna hate them going to I've seen it so much in like Stargate and stuff where they get taken prisoner and they have to dig into mines, but they don't really dig into mines, so I can't really hate on that. And most of my negatives are nitpicks. I actually love this movie. A lot of people say this could be the best, but they always go towards The Wrath of Khan. And I think most people are so determined that it has to be the best. So they pick. There's a lot of people out there who will rank movies and say, oh, because everyone says this one's the best, it has to be the best, so I'll put it on top. A lot of people do that with movies. They're like, certain movies, like, for instance, and it's very controversial too, a John Carpenter ranking. People will always put Halloween at top. They say that's the best John Carpenter movie. What everybody really knows is The Thing. I mean, come on. I love me some Michael Myers, but come on. Michael's stalking babysitters is nothing compared to the special effects in that movie. I'm just saying. So, some people might say, oh, Star Trek ranking, I have to put 2 at number 1. I don't know. I give that one a pretty good, which it was. I think maybe it just didn't sit with me well this time. I mean, it sat with me okay, but it didn't. I don't know, I enjoyed this one more. I really did. So it's to the moon. It shall go. So, what are your thoughts on Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country? Leave a comment below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. So I'm taking a break. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to rank all 6 of the original series films. Okay? And then I want to come back. I'll do the next 4. Oh, wait. That's right, there's only 4. Fuck it. I'll do 4. Of the next generation ones, I'll do all 4 of those. I'll rank all 4 of those. Even though I say I don't rank anything below 5, but it's okay. It's okay. For what I'm doing here, it's part. And then I'll do the 3 Abrams films, but I'm not going to do a separate video for the Abrams films. Although if I'm doing it, I might just have to. Although I don't usually do 3, but it's part of the series. And then when I'm done with that, rank all 13. Alright? But for now, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. Live long and prosper.